So Kirchhoff's equation, it explains the variation of temperature, variation of enthalpy with respect to temperature. What is this Kirchhoff's equation? How is this? First of all, I am going to derive. See here. Let us consider a chemical equation. Consider a reaction that is A gives B. That is A gives B. Let HA is the enthalpy of A and HB is the enthalpy of B. HA is the enthalpy of A and HB is the enthalpy of B. And also UA is the internal energy of A and UB is the internal energy of B. Therefore, delta H is equal to enthalpy of products minus enthalpy of reactants, that is equal to HB minus HA. Similarly, delta U is equal to UB minus UA. Delta U is equal to UB minus VA. Since delta H depends upon temperature and pressure, since delta H, because delta H depends on temperature and pressure, at constant pressure I am taking, okay, so differentiate this equation, let it be one run. Differentiate equation 1 with respect to temperature at constant pressure. At constant pressure. So what is that equation? Delta H is equal to HB minus HR. This is the equation 1. HB minus HR. This is the equation. I am going to differentiate this equation. D by dH of with respect to T at constant pressure is equal to D by dHB by dt at constant pressure minus dHA by dt at constant pressure. So see boys, dH by dt, dH by dt. dH by dt is nothing but heat capacity of the system at constant pressure. So see here, therefore, which is equal to Cp of B minus Cp of A. Cp of B minus Cp of A, which is we taking as delta Cp, which is taken as delta Cp value. This is dHB by dt. So now, finally we got d by delta H by dt is equal to delta Cp. That implies d delta H is equal to delta Cp dt. Delta Cp dt. So this is the equation we got in. So let it be second equation. Now different cases. Now different cases. That is, so case 1 and case 1. If delta Cp is constant between T1 and T2 temperatures, so because delta Cp may be variable or constant. Now I am taking constant condition between T1 and T2. Now integrate that equation 1 and integrate that equation 2. Therefore, we got integral d by delta H. So that is from H1 to H2. H1 to H2, which is equal to, it is delta Cp is constant, and therefore delta Cp integral T1 to T2 dt. T1 to T2 dt. Now, so integral dn, that is right. So delta H2 minus delta H1 after applying that is limits values, that is delta Cp by T2 minus T1 and delta Cp into T2 minus T1. Now I got delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. This is the answer, that is change in heat capacity of the system at constant pressure end. Therefore, delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. This equation is called as Kirchhoff's equation. That is the Kirchhoff's equation. In terms of delta Cp values, if you consider, so heat capacity is at constant volume, we will get, so delta Cv is equal to delta U2 minus delta U1 by T2 minus T1. It is in terms of heat capacity, constant volume, and both these are considered as Kirchhoff's equations. Both these are considered as Kirchhoff's equation. Very, very important, boys. So very, very important. Delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. So all these are, that is, if delta Cp is constant between T1 and T2 temperatures. Cp value is constant. So sometimes Cp may be variable. Sometimes Cp may be variable. So for that case, I will give one more equation. See here. That is case 2. If Cp varies between T1 and T2 temperatures, now we will have, so integral d by delta H, this equation is equal to integral of delta Cp dt, because both are variables. Delta Cp dt. So that is equal to Cp values variables, that is, therefore integral d by delta H is equal to delta Cp, just a minute, integral delta Cp dt plus constant K. It is the integral constant. It is the integral constant. So I am applying into, because both these are variables, that way something constant is available. So if temperature T is equal to 0, delta H is equal to delta H naught, which is equal to Kn, because T is equal to 0. So delta T is equal to 0. So delta T is equal to 0, that is change in temperature is 0. So this is available. Therefore integral d of delta H is equal to integral delta Cp dt plus K means delta H naught. So this is another equation. So finally, after integration, we will get, that is, delta H is equal to, integration differentiation cancelled, and delta H is equal to delta H naught plus, so alpha T, some constant, plus beta T square by 2 plus gamma T cube by 3. So like this, but after that, those are negligible cases. So this is another equation, so which is also Kirchhoff's equation, if Cp value varies between T1 and T2 cases. If Cp value varies between C1 and T2, so a constant temperature T, that is at T is equal to 0, delta H is equal to delta H naught, which is equal to K. So finally we will get the answer, delta H is equal to delta H naught plus alpha T plus beta T square after integration. These are integration terms. So but this is no need, my dear boys, we are using only this equation. This is very, very, very important. Delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. In all these cases, we are taking delta Cp value is constant between different temperatures, because so we are taking like that condition. Okay, delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. So this is Kirchhoff's equation. This gives the information about variation of delta H with the temperatures. And delta H2 is the enthalpy of the reaction at a T2 temperature. Delta H1 is the enthalpy of the change in enthalpy of the reaction at a temperature T1. So all these are related with delta Cp values. So very, very, very important, my dear boys. It is Kirchhoff's equation that gives the information about change in enthalpy with respect to temperature. Change in enthalpy with respect to temperature. Okay, boys. Here, delta H1, which is equal to change in enthalpy of the reaction at T1 temperature, and delta H2 means at T2 temperatures respectively. So change in enthalpies of the same reaction at T1 and T2 temperatures respectively. And at T1 change in enthalpy is delta H1, at T2 change in enthalpy is delta H2. Those are using here and different temperatures. So now the problems are it. So note all the problems. Based on this Kirchhoff's equation, calculate delta H at 85 degrees centigrade for the reaction Fe2O3 solids plus 3H2 gas gives 2Fe solids plus 3H2O liquid. The data delta H naught at 298 Kelvin is equal to minus 33.0 kilojoule per mole. So something is given to you, substance and Cp value in joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse is, that is Fe2O3 solid, its Cp value is 103. FeS its Cp value is 25. H2O only, the Cp value is 2O liquid. Its Cp value is 75. H2 gas, its Cp value is 28. So this is the data given to you, my dear boys. You want to calculate delta H value, change in enthalpy value at 85 degrees centigrade. At 85 degrees centigrade. So at 298 degrees centigrade, so there is a delta H value. You want to calculate at 85 degrees centigrade how much is the value. That means at one temperature delta H we know, another temperature how is the delta H value, change in enthalpy for the same reaction. For that purpose, we use Kirchhoff's equation. So according to your Kirchhoff's equation, we have formula that is delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. This is the formula we want to use. So for that purpose, we need delta Cp, that is change in heat capacities. How to calculate change values? That is the products value minus reactants value. Products value minus reactants value. First of all, I am going to calculate delta Cp value. That is delta Cp value means, so in this reaction, product value minus reactants value. That is, see here, products value, 2 moles is there. 2 into Cp value, Cp of F, that is Fe. Cp of Fe, solids, plus 3 into Cp of H2O liquids, it is the product standing. Now minus reactants value. So 1 mole is there. 1 into Cp of Fe2O3 solids. Cp of Fe2O3 solids plus 3 into Cp of H2 gas. Cp of H2 gas. So products Cp minus reactants. So depending on the number of moles, my dear boys, if 2 moles is there, multiply the value with 2 and 3 moles is there, multiply its value with 3 and. So therefore, finally we get this one, that is equal to, so 2 into Cp of iron solids, it is solid value 25 plus 3 into Cp of H2O liquid 75 minus 1 into Cp of HFE, this is 1 into 103 plus 3 into Cp of H2, that is 28. That is 28. So finally we will get the answer. So that is 38 into 10 power minus 3 kilojoules. And this is delta Cp value after final. It is in kilojoules, boys. It is in kilojoules. And okay. So now I'm using this formula. I'm using this formula. And so see here. So delta H naught. Now with respect to this, delta Cp value this much, 38 into 10 power minus 3 is equal to temperature, high temperature minus low temperature. It is 298 Kelvin. 298 Kelvin means 25 degrees centigrade. It is 85 degrees centigrade. 85 degrees centigrade means 273 plus 85. That is equal to 538, 8, 8, 7, 15. So 358 Kelvin and 358 Kelvin. We must use only absolute temperatures and okay. So therefore, I want to calculate delta H2 and it, that is at 358 Kelvin minus delta H1 is this much. That is how much is the value? Minus 33 kilojoules. That is why I am using here also kilojoules by T2 minus T1. T2 is a higher temperature this much. 358 minus T1 and 298 Kelvin. 298 Kelvin. I substitute all these values, boys. So finally, after solving this value, we will get the value that is delta H2, which is H 358 Kelvin is equal to minus 27.72 kilojoule per mole. This is the way to calculate the answer. So first of all, I'm calculating delta Cp value. After that, I'm using this formula, delta Cp is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. So finally, we have the formula. So this is very, very important. How much value? 88. Yes, it is 88, boy. 88 and this is 88. Okay. This is 88. So final calculation. Okay. So this is the way to calculate. So enthalpy of the same reaction at other temperatures. Change in enthalpy of the reactions at other temperatures. Okay. So I'm giving one more problem. Please try yourself. The standard heat of formation listed for gaseous ammonia is minus 11.0 kilocalorie per mole at 298 Kelvin. So at 298 Kelvin. See boys, the standard heat of formation means delta H. Indirectly, this is delta H. I will explain next in the next topic. You don't worry. 298 Kelvin. And given that at 298 Kelvin, comma, the constant pressure at the constant pressure heat capacities of gaseous N2, H2 and ammonia are respectively 7, 6 and 8 calorie per mole. And calorie per mole. Calculate delta H naught at 298 Kelvin and delta H at 773 Kelvin. Delta H at 773 Kelvin. For the reaction, half N2 gas plus 3/2 H2 gas gives NH3 gas. For the reaction, half N2. Try yourself, boys. First of all, you calculate only this one. And standard heat, this is the 298 Kelvin. Okay. Calculate delta H at 773 Kelvin for the reaction. Same model. First of all, calculate CP value, delta CP value. CP of products minus CP of reactants. Multiply those, there is the quotients also. CP of N2 already given to you. So CP values of N2, H2. N2 is 7, H2 is 6, and ammonia is 8. And these are the values given to you. Now delta CP is equal to, so 1 into 8 minus half into 7 plus 3/2 into 6. And this is delta CP value. And so how much is the value finally? Which is equal to minus 4.5. These are all in calorie per mole. That is why calorie per mole. And this is delta CP value. And this is delta CP value. Yes, one, wait. Now apply the formula. What is that formula? Delta CP is equal to delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. Delta Cp value is this much. So it is calories minus 4.5 into 10 power minus 3 kilocalories, because this is the value in kilocalories I am using it. So that's why once again this one also I am using kilocalories. Kilocalories is equal to, so this is at 298 Kelvin. He want to calculate at 773 Kelvin. He want to calculate at 773 Kelvin. That is delta H2 at 773 Kelvin minus delta H at 298 Kelvin by 773 minus 298. 773 minus 298. Okay, so that is minus 4.5 into 10 power minus 3 is equal to delta H at 773 Kelvin minus delta H at 298 Kelvin is minus 11. That is minus 11 kilocalories by this much, and 773 minus 298. Finally, the answer is delta H at 773 Kelvin is equal to minus 13.1375 kilocalorie per mole. And this is the final answer. Minus 13.1375 kilocalorie per mole. Check your answer. Check your answer. Okay. Okay, thank you. Before entering into the chemical thermodynamics, we need some conditions. That is standard state of the materials. It is very, very important. So anytime we are using standard state. What is this standard state? See here. Standard state of substance. It is very, very required one. What is the standard state? Standard state is nothing but, which is nothing but, it is the physical state. Physical state of substance. Standard state is nothing but physical state of substance. At 298 Kelvin temperature and 1 bar pressure. At this temperature and pressure, what is the physical state of that particular material? That physical state we consider as a standard state. So 288 Kelvin, roughly we are seeing the amount which is 35 degrees Celsius temperature point. It is 1 bar pressure. 1 bar pressure and 298 Kelvin. These are taken as room temperature and pressure. These are nothing but room temperature and pressure. At room temperature and pressure, what is the physical state of that material? That is the physical state of the substance. The physical state of the substance at 298 Kelvin. At 298 Kelvin, that is at 25 degrees centigrade, and 1 bar pressure. These are the conditions. At this temperature and pressure only, the physical state we consider, that physical state is called as the standard state of the material. For example, what is the standard state of H2O? What is the standard state of H2O? Is it solid, liquid, or gas? At standard state, solid, liquid, or gas? Yes. At room temperature and pressure means, so standard state is nothing but room temperature and pressure. At this room temperature and pressure, H2O exists in liquid. Therefore, standard state of H2O is a liquid. Yes. Standard state of H2O is liquid. What is the standard state of hydrogen? At this room temperature and pressure. At room temperature and pressure. Is this in solid, liquid, or gas? Yes, it is gas. Therefore, standard state of H2 is a gas. What about Cl2? Chlorine gas. Chlorine. Cl2, which is a gas. Which is a gas. Okay. Next, see here. I will give some conditions here. Standard state is nothing but the physical state of the material at standard conditions, that is at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. These are taken as standard states. Okay, so now, so what is the standard state of? What is the standard state of sodium? What is the standard state of sodium? Is it solid, liquid, or gas? Yes, solid. That means standard state is nothing but physical state. Physical state is nothing but at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure, which is taken as standard state. Any material, any concepts which are calculated at standard conditions. Standard conditions are nothing but at a 298 Kelvin temperature and 1 bar pressure. So if a value is measured at this temperature and pressure are considered as standard conditions, standard values. So standard, if you in any problem, so there is a word standard. So standard means 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. So we must calculate those values at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. So those are the standard values. So if you measure those values at that temperature and pressure, those are called as the standard value of that particular material. Standard value of that particular material. Okay. Okay, boys. Now I am entering into the mechanics, that is different conditions, different values, different conditions. See here, different types of heats of reactions. Different types of, that is types of heats of reactions. Heat of reactions are not. Types of heat of reactions. We must know about these concepts. Okay, what is this type of heat of reaction? So see, boys, heat of reaction means that is the amount of heat released or absorbed. That is the amount of heat released or absorbed during the course of the reaction. During the course of the reaction is called as heat of reaction. So for example, see here, there is hydrogen gas reacts with oxygen gas that gives H2O. It is a reaction. It is a reaction. Now I'm balancing this equation with half water. H2 plus half water gives H2O. During this process, something energy is released. So that is, let it be minus 6 kilojoules of energy will be released. This is the amount of energy released during this reaction. This is the amount of energy released. Why is it released? Because it is negative. Negative means released energy and positive means absorbed energy. It is exothermic reaction, boys. It is exothermic reaction. Okay. So this is the amount of energy released. How much energy? X value is released. So X is the amount of energy released. So during this reaction, that way this X is called as heat of this reaction. Heat of this reaction is how much? Xn. So is this released energy or absorbed energy? No doubt it should be released energy. How far? So because it is negative. So delta H negative means exothermic. Delta H positive means endothermic. So exothermic means released energy. Endothermic means absorbed energy. Let us take one more example. See here, N2 plus O2 gives 2NO. Here delta H is equal to plus YN. No doubt, is this a reaction or not? Is this a reaction or not? Yes, it is a reaction. During this reaction, this much energy is absorbed because it is plus. Where there is plus, delta H is plus. Delta H plus means it is absorbed energy. Absorbed energy. That means Y joules of energy or Y kilojoules of energy. Y, it is in kilojoules. I am giving the units. Y kilojoules of energy is utilized to react this N2 and O2 to form this N1. This is absorbed energy. This is released energy. Whatever it may be, X is the heat of this reaction. Y is the heat of this reaction. For this reaction, Y kilojoules of energy. For this reaction, the release is X kilojoules of energy. So that means during any chemical reaction, sometimes heat energy may be released or absorbed. That released or absorbed energy during the reaction is called as heat of reaction. Heat of reaction. Now I am taking standard heat of reaction. So before I am using heat of reaction. What is this standard heat of reaction? That standard heat of reaction means, so at standard conditions, previously at any temperature, at any pressure, there is a value. But now at 25 degrees centigrade, so that means the heat of reaction is measured at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. That value is called as standard heat of reaction. Standard heat of reaction. That means if the same value is measured at this value and this value, and at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure, these values we treat as standard heat of reaction. That means heat of reaction is measured at standard conditions. What are the standard conditions? At 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere pressure. At 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere pressure, 1 bar pressure. So those are considered as standard conditions. So if you measure the value at standard conditions, that is called as standard heat of reaction. So delta H is the heat of reaction. Delta H naught is the standard heat of reaction. This is the symbol for standard. Not indicates standard. Not indicates standard. So normal. This is at normal conditions. This is at normal conditions. Okay. See boys, if heat of reaction or anything is measured at standard conditions means 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure is measured. Now that is indicated with delta H naught. So delta H naught means whenever a word naught is there, that is standard end. That is standard case. Okay. So now I'm explaining different types of reactions. Types of heat of reactions. First one is heat of formation. We must know about the statements, very important. Heat of reaction, boys. So listen carefully. I don't repeat. I am not once again repeat, my dear boys. Please listen utmost care. With utmost care, and very important. Heat of formation. All these are applicable for a particular reaction. Okay. So here the word formation. During a chemical reaction, is a reactant is formed or product is formed? Tell me. During the course of the reaction, reactants are formed or products are formed? Yes, product is formed. So in any chemical reaction, product is formed, reactants are going to be reacted. Okay, that means formation, heat of formation, it is for product. It is based on, this concept is based on product formation. The concept is based on product formation. See here, formation, that means, so in any chemical reaction, a product is formed. A product is formed, no doubt. It is a chemical reaction. So a product is formed from which something reactants are there. Something reactants are there. So we don't want those reactants, but something product is formed. During the formation of this product, there is a change in enthalpy and something heat energy may be released or absorbed during the formation of this product. During the formation of this product, some heat changes are occurred. That heat changes is considered as heat of this product. Therefore, heat of formation of this product. Heat of formation of this product. So to complete this reaction, there is no doubt this should be balanced. So that means if your product is there, automatically we are taking reactants. So what are those reactants? So formation is always the product from its elements. The product is always from its elements. Let us take an example, my dear boys. So now I'm going to explain heat of formation of ammonia. So see here. So heat of formation of ammonia means ammonia is the productant. Heat of formation of ammonia means ammonia is the reactant. So always the product must be 1 mole should be formed. It is a standard value. So for the formation of 1 mole substance, so 1 mole is the product formed. Okay. So now, so from this one to this 1 mole, so what are those reactants involved in the reaction? From its elements, ammonia, what are the elements are available? Nitrogen is the element available, hydrogen is the element available. So both nitrogen and hydrogen are going to be reacted. Therefore, N2 plus H2. N2 plus H2. These are the reactants involved in the reaction to form 1 mole. So it should be 1 mole. That's why balance. This end to get that 1 mole. That's why here 1 nitrogen is there, half N2, 3 hydrogens are required, 3/2 H2. That gives 1 mole. So that means product always 1 mole product should be formed. So this product is always from its elements. So the elements in ammonia is nitrogen and hydrogen. That means ammonia is formed from nitrogen and hydrogen. So then only something heat energy. No doubt it is a chemical reaction. During this reaction, something heat energy may be released or absorbed. Let it be minus X. This minus X is the heat of formation of ammonia. That minus X is the heat of formation of ammonia. Okay, it is very, very important, boys. So what is this minus X? Minus means released energy. How much energy is released? X value is released. That X value during the formation of 1 mole product. So that is ammonia. Therefore, heat of formation of this ammonia is X. This heat of formation of this ammonia is X. So is there any doubt, boys? So heat of formation means always product is formed from its standard stage. So sorry, I'm not going to standard. So that is heat of formation. Next, if this reaction is carried out at standard conditions, that means, so the product is formed in its standard stage. And from the elements, from their standard stage, at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. And the entire reaction is carried out at these conditions. What are these conditions? Standard conditions. That means now the released energy, because all these are in standard, 1 mole product is formed in its standard state from its elements which are in their standard state. Okay, so at standard conditions, the heat energy released or absorbed, that is called as change in enthalpy. The change in enthalpy at standard conditions is called as delta H naught, which is called as delta H naught. That is the standard heat of reaction. So heat of reaction at any temperature and pressure. But standard heat of reaction, that the heat of reaction is measured at standard conditions. That is at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. That is at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. That is called as standard heat of formation. See, boys, I will explain with an example. Heat of formation means the product is always from its elements, not from any other sources, only from its elements. So see here, ammonia, NH3 is also formed by heating ammonium chloride when it reacts with NaOH, that gives NH3 plus NaCl plus H2O. This is the reaction. So no doubt it is a reaction. Here also ammonia formed. 1 mole ammonia is only formed here. From its standard state, in its standard state also formed. Something heat energy may be released, which is called as delta H value. It is measured at standard conditions. Delta H naught. It is measured at standard conditions. Delta H naught. Okay. Now, is this energy value? Is this delta H value? Is the heat of formation of NH3? Is that delta H value. Is this delta H value heat of formation of ammonia? Why not, Swaran? Swaran says, why not? Yes, Sidhu, why not? Why not? Why not? Tell me the reason. H2O is there. What happened? No. This ammonia is not formed from its elements. That is means not from. It is not from H2 and N2 only. It is not from H2 and N2. It is something else. Other ways are there. So it is the chemical reaction. This delta H naught is called as heat of reaction, no doubt. But not heat of formation of ammonia. But not heat of formation of ammonia. So heat of formation means that particular product must be from its elements. If that is measured at constant temperature, that is at 298 Kelvin and at 1 bar pressure, that is called as standard heat of formation. Always the product must be 1 mole. 1 mole. So what is the heat of formation? What is heat of formation? So now I am giving the statement, my dear boys. So heat of formation means the change in enthalpy when 1 mole product is formed from its elements. 1 mole product is formed from its elements is called heat of formation. Heat of formation of that product. Heat of formation of that product. That is the amount of heat released or absorbed. Enthalpy change. Change in enthalpy means heat released or absorbed, whatever it may be. Heat released or absorbed, whatever it may be. That is the amount of heat that is released or absorbed when 1 mole product is formed from its elements. From its elements only. 1 mole product should be formed. It is important. It is also important from its elements. That is called as heat formation of the reaction. That is called as
So let us take the example.
H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. I am taking, my dear boys, once again I am repeating. What is the standard heat of formation? So answer that is, what is standard heat of formation? Standard heat of formation means that is the change in enthalpy when 1 mole product is formed from its elements in its standard state. So from its elements in their standard state, from its elements in their standard state. So the product in its standard state is formed from its elements in their standard state at that standard conditions, that is at 298 Kelvin temperature and 1 bar pressure. Now that is called as standard heat of formation, which is called as delta H naught. F indicates formation. F indicates formation. So delta H means change in enthalpy. F means formation. F naught means standard heat of formation. Delta H change in enthalpy. F means formation of that product. That is the symbol. Delta H of. So if naught is introduced, that is the standard case. That is the standard case. Okay. So this is the very important. This is the very important. So naught is there or not. If naught is there, that is standard conditions. Naught is not there, that is at other cases. Okay. So see here. H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. This is the reaction. During this process, delta H naught is equal to minus 92 kilojoule per mole. minus 92 kilojoule per mole. Now, this 92 kilojoule per mole, I am taking heat of or standard heat of formation of HCl. HCl is a gas, Cl2 is a gas, from their elements. So, is this standard heat of formation of HCl? Tell me. 5 power, why not? Aditya, why not? Parshit, why? Uday, why? Yes, Tarun, you are correct. Aditya, you are correct. Yes. Sir, it is 2 moles ending. Our statement only for 1 mole ending. Our statement is only for 1 mole. Now, how much is the heat of formation of HCl? Tell me, how much is the heat of formation of HCl? No doubt that HCl is from its elements. Yes, 42. For 2 moles, it is 92. For 1 mole, which is 46, which is called as the standard heat of formation of HCl. So, sorry, 46. 46. That 46 is the standard heat of formation of HCl. Okay. So, yes, minus means release rate. Charan, minus means release. How much energy is released? There is 92 kilojoules of energy released. So, is this heat of formation of HCl? No, because here 2 moles of HCl is formed. Here 2 moles of HCl is formed. But our statement is only for 1 mole only. For 2 moles it is 92. For 1 mole it is 46 only. That means 46 is the heat of formation of HCl, not 92 kilojoules. Not 92 kilojoules. Don't confuse boys. Someone asked how to measure heat of formation per NaC gas. Yes, how to? Yes, it is very important. So, I am taking NaCl should be the product. NaCl should be the productant. That too, it is in its standard state, solid phase. Okay, so this NaCl is must be coming from its elements. What are those elements? The sodium and chlorine. Now, sodium standard state, which is solid, plus chlorine, Cl2, which is in gas. So those elements in its standard state. So for balancing purpose is the opposite because it should be 1 mole. So now sodium, 1 mole sodium reacts with half mole chlorine to give 1 mole NaCl. It is a reaction. During the course of reaction, something delta H is state. This delta H is nothing but heat of formation of NaCl. Am I correct or wrong? Am I correct or wrong? Is this heat of formation of NaCl or not? Yes, exactly corrected. Exactly corrected. Because that product is from its elements. 1 mole product is there. 1 mole product is there. Now, is this NaCl coming from Na plus ion aqueous condition, C ion aqueous condition? Now on also NaCl product is formed. Is reaction now delta H? So there is no this variance. Is the delta H value heat of formation of NaCl? No, yes, because this is not from its elements and some other ions are there. Okay, so because it is not elements, it is from ions, so not in their standard state. That's why this is heat of reaction, but not heat of formation of that NaCl. So, okay, that is considered as heat of reaction because during the reaction something enthalpy is changed. So that is why that is heat of reaction. That may be exothermic or endothermic, no doubt. That is an energy release in any exothermic cases. But that is not considered as heat of formation of that NaCl. So those products which are from elements only are considered as the released or absorbed energies are considered as heat of formation. See here, ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH, which is in liquid state. Standard state is liquid state. So that is coming from 2 moles carbon. Graphite form is the, see my dear boys, if allotropes are there, carbon, graphite, diamond are there, carbon graphite is taken as the standard state, not a diamond. Please mind it. It is arbitrarily taken value. And carbon graphite is the standard stage. So plus hydrogens, 6 hydrogens, 3 H2, which is in gaseous state, half O2. So there is a heat changes delta H. So is this heat of formation of C2H5OH or not? Is this delta H value heat of formation of the either alcohol or not? Yes, because 1 mole is the product. So prime elements only. Therefore, this energy is called as heat of formation. Okay. So this is the way to identify heat of formation. Heat of formations of the compounds. Okay. So heat of formation is indicated with the letter delta HEF. Delta HEF naught, and naught means that is the value measured at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. See boys, the standard heat of formation of elements, the standard heat of formation of elements at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure of formation of following elements and following elements at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure is equal to 0. And I am taking arbitrary values and see here, arbitrarily taken as 0. Those elements are, so delta H naught, H F naught, and that is standard heat of formation of that particular element. So that is mercury, if the liquid state is taken as 0. Please try to mind it by it. So standard heat of formation of mercury liquid is taken as 0. Next, chlorine gas is taken as 0. Formation of chlorine is taken as 0. And bromine liquid state is taken as 0. Hydrogen H2 gaseous state is taken as 0. Next, H plus aqueous state is taken as 0. H plus aqueous state is taken as 0. Next, F2 gaseous state is taken as 0 and standard heat of formation of elements. Try to mind it. Try to mind it. So in case of allotropes, carbon graphite form and is taken as 0 and carbon graphite form. Next, sulfur, rhombic sulfur, rhombic form, rhombic sulfur and orthorhombic and monoclinic. Different allotropes are there. For sulfur, rhombic sulfur is taken as standard value. Its value formation is equal to 0 and next, phosphorus, white phosphorus and phosphorus case, white phosphorus. Its value is taken as 0 and its value is taken as 0. So try to mind it. Yes, ion which is in that is at 0 case, that is aqueous condition. Delta H formation of H plus ion is taken as 0. Delta H formation of H plus aqueous ion is equal to 0. So in other cases, those are the elements. See boys, very, very, very important and very, very important. Heat of formation of elements. Heat of formation of elements is taken as 0. So mercury standard state liquid 0, chlorine 0, bromine 0, bromine in particular liquid, right, it is important. Bromine liquid 0, hydrogen gas H plus aqueous, chlorine gas. Okay, iodine solid I2 solid is equal to 0 and iodine solid is equal to 0. That is standard state. Iodine gas or iodine liquid formations are not considered as 0 because these are used to calculate heat of formation, enthalpy of reaction. These are used for calculating enthalpy of reaction, heat of reaction. So see here. Standard enthalpy of reaction, R means reaction, is equal to sigma A into enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of formation of product minus B into, that is the number of moles, means A and B are number of moles, nothing but nothing. Delta H naught of formation of reactants and which is taken as enthalpy of reaction, enthalpy of reaction. Enthalpy of reaction. See here, X moles A plus Y moles B gives P moles C, Q moles D. Now, delta H formation of reaction is equal to how much? This is the reaction, how much energy is released? That is calculated with the help of delta H is nothing but enthalpy of products minus enthalpy of reactants. Standard value is nothing but standard values. Standards are nothing but standard values. So formation, delta H of the reaction is equal to HP minus HR, standard conditions. So that is equal to, so here these are the products. Therefore, P moles of delta H formation of C plus Q moles of delta H dot formation of D, it is for reactants, minus reactants, X into delta H formation of A plus Y into delta H naught formation of B. So it is a summation of products minus summation of reactants. That gives delta H naught of the reaction. So it is the way to calculate enthalpy of reaction. This enthalpy of reaction is calculated with the formation of heat of formation of those particular elements. Heat of formation of that particular element. It is very, very important. So I am giving one example. See here. CaCO3 solid gives CaO solid plus CO2 gas. For this, delta H formation is equal to how much? Delta H formation is equal to how much? Try yourself like this. Try yourself. I am writing. So that is delta H formation is equal to delta H formation of CaO solid plus delta H formation of CO2 gas minus, because those are the products, minus delta H formation of CaCO3 solid. CaCO3 solid. So these values are given to you. Substitute those values. Automatically we will get delta H formation of the reaction. These values are supplied to you. So during problem calculations, I will explain. Please wait. I will explain during the problem calculations. Okay. So that is the way to express heat of formation. Okay, boys. This is the heat of reaction. Now I'm going to second type of heat of reaction. This is heat of formation. I'm going to take second type of reaction, that is heat of combustion. Heat of combustion, which is delta H Cera, and standard heat of combustion, which is delta H naught Cera. Delta H C, delta H naught CNA. So if heat of combustion is measured at standard conditions, that is called as standard heat of combustion. So standard heat of combustion. Okay. So this is very, very important, boys. This is very, very important. Heat of combustion, standard heat of combustion. Okay. See here. What is this heat of combustion? Heat of combustion. Before going to that, what is combustion? What is combustion? Combustion is nothing but burning of substance in excess of oxygen. What is the meaning of combustion? Is burning of that particular substance in excess of oxygen is called as combustion. Okay, so any substance, whatever it may be, the substance given to you. So burn that substance. So burning of substance completely in excess of oxygen. Complete burning, which is in excess of oxygen, is called as combustion. The process is called as combustion. During this process, heat is always, see boys, always released. Heat is always released. No absorption of heat. Heat of combustion is always exothermic. It is always exothermic reaction, boys. Always exothermic. Always heat is released. The released heat is called as heat of reaction. During combustion of substance, something heat energy is released. That heat energy is called as heat of combustion. See here. How many more that chemical is going to be combustion, sir? One mole substance. One mole substance is going to be combustion. Something heat energy may be released. That released energy is called as heat of combustion. That released energy is called as heat of combustion. Now see here, I'm going to give some statements. So the change in enthalpy when 1 mole compound, 1 mole substance is completely burnt in excess of oxygen. 1 mole substance is completely burnt in excess of oxygen is the heat of combustion of that substance. Heat of combustion of that substance. So we must take 1 mole substance, and if this process takes place at a standard stage, then that is called as standard heat of combustion. Then that is called as standard heat of combustion. See, boys, I will explain with an example. See here. That is, I have carbon graphite. So there is carbon graphite formula. I am taking this 1 mole carbon graphite. I am going to take combustion of this graphite in excess of oxygen. That gives carbon dioxide, which is in gaseous state, which is also in gaseous state. Something heat energy is released. This released energy, released means minus draft. That released energy is the heat of combustion of this graphite. That is, I think, 365 kilojoules of energy may be released. 365 roughly. Okay, those values are rough values, but not exact. So that 365 kilojoules of energy, that is the amount of energy released when 1 mole carbon graphite is going to be combustion, burning in the presence of oxygen, in excess of oxygen. So this much amount of energy is called as, that is called as heat of combustion of carbon. Heat of combustion of carbon. See here, H2 gas reacts with oxygen gas, that gives H2 water. 1 mole H2 and so reacts with a half mole and so that gives H2 water. Here delta H, something energy released, let it be minus X. So this X is nothing but heat of combustion of hydrogen. This X is nothing but heat of combustion of hydrogen, because hydrogen is going to be burned with oxygen. Right? It is in gaseous state, it is in gaseous state, it is in liquid state. This is heat of combustion of hydrogen. What is heat of combustion? That is the amount of energy released. That is the change in enthalpy when one mole substance is completely burned in excess of oxygen. That is the amount of energy released when one mole of substance is completely burned in excess of oxygen. That is called as heat of combustion. That is nothing but heat of combustion. So therefore, for one mole substance released energy is called heat of combustion. Heat of combustion. So instead of 1 mole, I am taking 1 gram substance. 1 gram substance. Generally, I am taking fuel. 1 gram fuel is going to be combustion. It is some combustion. Something heat is released. This is called as, this heat released when 1 gram fuel is called as calorific value. And value of that fuel. Calorific value of that fuel. So what is heat of combustion? 1 more substance going to be combustion. The heat released is called as heat of combustion. If the substance is taken in 1 mole, that is called as calorific value. And generally it is applicable for fuel. That substance, that fuel is I am taking 1 mole. So that is calorific value. This calorific value is calculated delta H combustion by molecular weight of the substance. Delta H combustion by molecular weight of the substance. So delta H combustion is for 1 mole of the substance, but by molecular weight it gives 1 gram substance. So calorific value is calculated. Delta H combustion by molecular weight of the substance is equal to heat released for 1 gram of the substance. The heat released for 1 gram of the substance is called as calorific value of that particular substance. Calorific value of that particular substance. Okay. So this is about heat of combustion. I will give S let us take here from this equation heat of combustion of graphite is equal to minus 365 kilojoules. Minus 365 kilojoules. Okay. Now, calorific value of graphite is equal to, calorific value means heat of combustion per 1 gram substance. Heat of combustion for 1 gram substance. This is the heat of combustion for 1 mole. That is a minus 365 by. So atomic weight, graphite atomic weight is 12 N. So this gives calorific value of graphite means. Calorific value of graphite, yes. Okay. So that means per gram of the substance is calorific value of that particular substance. Per mole is called as heat of combustion of that substance. So generally calorific values are useful to measure the efficiency of the fuel cell. Calorific values are useful to measure the efficiency of the fuels. Okay. So heat of combustion is most helpful to measure the calorific values of the fuel cell.